What's good, everybody? It's your boy Kirk Ray Smith. Y'all know what it is. Welcome to the I Am with Kirk Ray Smith podcast presented by the One Charitable Coalition, where we work really hard each and every day to close the resource gap, supporting small nonprofits and small businesses to help them realize their dreams. This podcast would not be possible without donors and sponsors like yourself. So we're really excited. We have a great show for you today. And I'm telling you right now, stay seated, don't go anywhere, because we have a great show for you today. Let's go!
You are now tuned in to I Am with Kirk Ray Smith.
Welcome to the I Am Kirk Ray Smith podcast. Do you ever get tired of setting yourself on fire to keep other people warm? Get out of the people-pleasing business ASAP. That people are more interested in how you are than who you are. Welcome back. So listen, before I introduce this incredible guest, and again, I'm telling you, man, you guys will not be disappointed. I want to say something real quick, and it's something that I've probably mentioned for many years. I've said it several times, and for those of you who know me, you're very familiar with what I'm getting ready to share next. The reality is that loyalty does not exist until it's tested. Let me say that again. Loyalty does not exist until it's tested. Unfortunately, many people are only as faithful as their options. Loyalty, again, doesn't exist until it's tested. Sheep and goat, they look alike early on. But as time progresses, one grows horns and a beard, and the other one just becomes more and more furry. So the reality is that as pure as people's hearts may be, you know, faithfulness and loyalty, although it's great to hear, love to hear it, but none of those things exist until you have the opportunity to do otherwise. So I just wanted to start with that. And why that's so important is that this, my guest, this person is a very loyal, committed, dedicated individual that will stand with you, and not because he's so great and special. Actually, he is great and special, but no, he's down to earth. He's an incredible person. So let me start with this. This guy did not take basketball serious until the 11th grade. Let me say it again. He did not take the game of basketball serious until his junior year in high school. And right after that, quickly became a superstar, dominant basketball player right there at Lincoln High School in Gano, Ohio, near Columbus. Dominant player in high school. Had some incredible run, Final Four, almost won that state championship. And after a short period of time, many Division I schools were looking at him and recruiting him, and he ultimately ended up going to VCU, Virginia Commonwealth, right there in Richmond, Virginia. Actually, one of the greatest places in the country. I love that part of the country. But at any rate, to play for the great Coach Shaka Smart. Shout out to Coach Smart. Great guy, it's my brother. Great person. But this guy went on to play at VCU, and that's right. He was one of the key components to them going, the Cinderella story, going to the NCAA Final Four in 2011. Man, listen, he dominated as a freshman and had an incredible college career, 4 years, man. Just a dominant player, unselfish guy. He plays a lot like how he is as a person, believe it or not. But just an incredible human being, and went on to have an incredible pro career for 5 years following that. And then as if that wasn't enough, he started the JNR Basketball with one of his partners right there in Virginia, doing incredible work as it relates to youth development, life skill development, the game of basketball, travel teams, competitive teams, winning teams. I mean, listen, I can't say enough about this person, man. So I'm going to stop right there. But I want y'all to put y'all hands together for the one and only, and actually my nephew, Rob Brandenberg. Rob, what's good?
That was great.
Good? You like
What's
that,
going on? What's going on, Kirk Ray? How you doing today?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. Look like you got that JNR. You got that JNR gear on, man. What's up with that?
JNR, man, you mentioned that. We'll get into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But JNR, man, that's my program, man. Jesse Color Rosa, Rob Brandenberg, joint forces.
Come on, man. How you been? How you been? How you been?
Yeah. I've been great, man. I've been great. Things are lovely. God is good. You know, that's the first thing I always say. You know, God's been great. Family's healthy. I'm healthy.
That's right.
Basketball programs for thriving, so no complaints this way.
So you right there in Cincinnati now, right? That's kind of where your spot is for now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, at the moment, back in Ohio, obviously born and raised, so it feels good to be back.
Yeah.
and just be with family. Doing the corporate thing over at the
Yeah, that's
CarMax.
right.
So just enjoying that. Kind of a different chapter,
Yeah.
but really, really happy to see where things are going right now.
Yeah, well, you're gonna get it. I'm telling you, when it comes to chapters, man, I was telling my youngest son, man, that man, you're gonna have many phases in your life, man, many defining moments, and you may be just 5 years later, you may be doing something totally different, be a different person, man. But the key is to understand that you're gonna go through those transitions and be ready for them, man. Just prepare yourself for what's next,
Hmm.
and you transition nicely, man. An executive now and incredible programs and helping so many people. You probably help so many young people. Probably you don't even know how many. You probably can't even measure your impact. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And you're just a great person, man. But look, man, listen. I'm flattered. I'm honored to have you on the podcast, man. For you to be here is an absolute blessing, and I couldn't be more excited to have you here, man. So I'm not gonna work you too hard today, man. I know you got a busy schedule, man, and thank you again for taking time out.
Hmm.
So if you don't mind, man, and we're gonna, we'll have some conversations. We'll venture into different areas. But one of the things I wanted to start off with, man, is and again, I've mentioned this before. I'm always concerned about young people, man, and whether they like it or not, whether they agree with it or not, they do represent our future. They do represent tomorrow. There's no escape from that. Like, no matter who you are tomorrow if you're still here. And I'm concerned, though. I'm really concerned about a lot of young people and kind of how they see things, their perspective. I mean, listen, I'm a fan of social media and all these other things, but it just seems like we've been desensitized, man. And people, bullies have always been around, but it seems a lot more harsh when it comes to social media. And we're just so interested, particularly young people, as to what other people think. What's sort of your take on the climate, man, of just young people today? When I say young, I'm talking about those middle school through high schoolers, man. What's your thoughts on where they are?
Yeah, I think you bring up a good topic. I think that's something that needs to be discussed. Someone that's been in the spotlight and now I'm not so much in the spotlight. I'm able to look back in hindsight, realizing that's why it's important to have good mentors. It's important to have good teachers, good coaches, because when you're young, you're just more suggestible, right? When you hear something, you take it like it's law when it's not the truth, right? And that's just part of the world we live in. So I think with the young people, they are the future. So it's important for people like me that's been in their shoes, to give back. And that's what I usually do, like I said, through coaching, where it's more than basketball, man. It's teaching them about, having grit, being able to persevere, being able to have self-belief,
Right,
self-esteem,
right.
believe in yourself regardless of if someone doesn't believe in you, because that's ultimately what we actually have control over. I didn't learn
Right.
that until later in life, where um, only you can allow somebody's, thoughts and opinions to seep into, what you have going on and affect you,
Right.
whether that's, consciously, unconsciously, whether you did it on purpose or not. I like to, like I said, use my basketball career really as a microcosm of my life, where like there was times I felt like Michael Jordan, there were times where I felt like the opposite of that. Um, and it wasn't because of what was said, it's because of, me. It was because of me not locking down my armor and putting it where it needed to be so I can stay focused and, accomplish the task at hand. So with the young kids, the only thing that we can do really is guide them, because I had good coaches to do that for me. So now I'm hoping to do the same. Where at the end of the day, the only opinion of yourself, right, is you. I think Cat Williams said it best. And one of my favorite comedians. He said, it's your self-esteem. How you gonna let somebody else,
Right.
affect that? It's you. It's self-esteem for a reason. So it's just important to get to know you. Be you, understand who you are, because ultimately, at the end of the day, that's all you got. I mean,
When
to be
you
real
when
with
you
you.
I know you said sometimes you felt like Michael Jordan. I know you meant to say LeBron James, but anyway, so let's go back, man. So when you were in high
Yeah, yeah.
school, right? So you're a teenager, basketball star. You're him. Take me back a little bit. So during that time when you were in high school, what was that like? Being a basketball star, the attention, just that particular moment in time in your life. Tell me a little bit about what that was like. What were some of the cool things about it, and then what were some of the challenges? And again, when you were in high school.
For sure, for sure. Well, you said it earlier. I didn't start getting attention to my junior year, and it's funny. My mother, she told me like, "Hey, if you want to go to college, you got to get a scholarship." So that's when I actually took it serious. I always loved the game. I always loved watching it, playing the game, but I didn't really take it serious, understanding that this could be something that can take me to another level. So all that attention happened quick, man. I was in Cincinnati, July 2008. This is when AU events were still allowed to be at college campuses. So we were at the Adidas It Takes Five at the University of Cincinnati. I'm an unknown, right? Nobody knows who I am. But I went into that tournament. I remember that Saturday morning. You can ask my twin brother, you ask my cousin, man, they were in the crowd. Just a different beast because I knew like this is the opportunity right here. Like this is the moment. I may never get this again. I think my first game I dropped 30, averaged about 25 for the whole
Man.
tournament. And then I literally left Cincinnati with about 7 scholarship offers.
Well, how did that? So
Boom, happened quick.
well, take me back to that moment. So you knew at that point, I
Yeah,
want to go
yeah.
to college. I want to play the game of basketball. So you already kind of had it established in your mind when you stepped on that court, you was going to dominate. So it didn't matter who was out there, right? All that
Oh,
mattered
no,
was,
not at all. It didn't matter, man.
yeah. And so you just so when you were out there, you didn't even see anybody. You just saw the basket.
Man, it was just me in the basket, man.
Yeah.
I promise you, because again, I was so locked in terms of, when you want something that bad and it's
Yeah.
within arm's reach,
That's right.
I'm like, listen, man, they're gonna have to drag me off this court.
That's right. That's right. And this is your time, your moment, man. And so now you
Yeah.
go there, you ball out, you get the offers. Now you go back to school. Your team's winning. You're the popular, man on campus. So keep it real with me, man. Give me some of the temptations, some of the vices, man. Like stuff that could have like derailed or gotten in the way of you ultimately being able to go on to college.
Yeah, I think the first thing is, when you talk about popular, right? You talk about, women, you talk about, drinking, you talk about drugs and all that type of stuff. So
Yeah.
when you become, that guy, where it's like, okay, that's the guy that
So it's like in your face.
pop, it's right there, right?
Yeah.
It's right there because that's unfortunately, when we talk about young people and all that, that's what's considered cool. It's
Yeah.
not cool to be disciplined. It's not cool to stay focused, right? It's not cool to say no to those things. So that's some of the stuff that I had to deal with, but again, fortunately, I was
You had
locked
good
in
people.
terms of
You had good people
just
around you
good
too.
people around
You got a
me. Yeah, so
great mother, great siblings. I mean, you
right,
definitely were blessed,
great
man.
siblings, uncles, aunts,
Yeah.
right? Once
Well,
I knew, like, okay,
I know
I'm
you
in a
got
good
one
place.
uncle I know
Yeah,
that's great for sure. I know
got
one of your
one.
uncles. One of your uncles is a legend. I mean, I can attest to that.
I wonder who that is.
But what I want to do, man, I want to like shift into the college life and really talk about what happened when you stepped on that campus and really get some insight around again. What were you challenged with? How did you overcome a lot of it? And how we can sort of draw parallels to everyday life. So we'll get into that in the next segment, man. But I want you to think about that, and then we're just gonna dig in, man. And you know me, man. I'm gonna ask you some tough questions, man. But with us, man, we've always kept it real and kept it a buck, man. And that's one of the things I love and appreciate you, man. You never pull punches, and you never mislead, man. And I appreciate that about you. So we'll jump back into that when we come right back. Again, guys, sit tight, and we're gonna be coming right back, man. We're gonna get into the VCU days. Can't wait.